So this update is in Jasper. As you can see behind me, you can see the city behind me, but of course it's not that good of a view. It's so cold outside though that I don't want to record this outside, but essentially I rode to Jasper just now. It was 86 kilometers and now I have to go back. It's 2:15 and I haven't even done like the post-mortem of yesterday where I did the most ascending I've ever done in my life, which was 2,200 plus meters. So that was pretty crazy. And even now I have 1,000 meters of ascending to do to get back to the hostel. So like it's literally just there and back. And it's cold and it's wet. It's like kind of raining. It's like 10 degrees and I don't have the proper clothing. I have gloves at least. But yeah, these next 4.5 hours are gonna suck. Might actually take 5 hours because it's all ascending on the last bit here. So that means that I'll be back around 7:20. So right before the sun sets, which is good, that I'll be there before it gets like dark. But I'll be frozen by the time I get back, and like, oh, it's such a bad feeling, like knowing that you gotta do that, but I gotta do it. So yeah, the weather in Jasper is alright. It's pretty insane though that you see all of the burnt trees that were due to the wildfire last year on your way into the town, and yeah, I'm shaking because of the cold weather, so I should probably stop the recording now and try to get on the way. I know that I'll start to shiver immediately as I ride, but I'm hoping that I can start to stabilize. That's usually what happens. Like you kind of get in this equilibrium state where your hands and feet are frozen, but your body is like, well, it's not frozen. So I think the sooner I go, the faster I'll reach that state, and that's what I want. So that's what we're gonna do. Yo, so you can see behind me a river. Is there a car? No, there isn't a car. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity before my hands freeze to actually record something on the route. So I'm currently on Highway 93A, which is the secondary highway to Highway 93, which is to say that I took Highway 93 to Jasper, and I'm taking Highway 93A back, but it is more treacherous in terms of uphill, downhill. The cool thing is that I'm about to pass by the entrance to Marmot Basin. I probably should have shown you that when I get closer to it, but in essence that's a ski resort in Jasper. So in the wintertime you would turn right here to get up to the ski hill, and that's a cool ski hill because it has the highest base elevation. That is to say, like, yeah, I'll show you. So I hope you saw the sign. It's the highest base elevation of any ski park in, I think, the Canadian Rockies. So I'm not going there, of course. I'm just gonna keep on going straight. And it looks like it may or may not be descending here. So, I don't know. It looks like it's going straight for a bit. I just did quite a, I wouldn't say treacherous, but quite a involved uphill. So I am expecting at some point equally treacherous downhill. And I'm telling you, the mountains make you dislike downhills, which is insane because that's something that you live for as a cyclist, but they managed to do it because of how just dangerous and insane they are. And yeah, you can see all of the burnt landscape on both sides of me. Like there's the other side. And this road actually, for now, it looks kind of cool and windy, so let me show you. So if you can see, so it looks like I'll be cruising for like maybe 1 or 2 kilometers here, and then I assume it'll be another uphill or downhill. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, it's slightly raining, as you can see from my glasses and from the fact that the road is wet. So that's not fun, but I'm still not wet because I didn't say this in the last Jasper update, but I literally spent like 30 minutes in the washing room, like the bathroom of the Via Rail, like the train station, just putting my sock in the blow dryer and blow drying my sock and my shoes and my gloves and my hands.
So that definitely helped a lot. And then I had, of course, the food at A&W. And it was quite insane too, or not insane, but good timing, because the moment that I was in the Via Rail station, it was absolutely packed to the brim, because at that time the train which was heading west to Vancouver had arrived, and shortly later the train heading east to, I guess, Montreal or whatever would also be coming. So I guess 2-ish p.m. is when the trains cross each other at the Jasper station, and I think that only happens like once or twice a day because we do not have high frequency trains in Canada. So that was kind of cool to see the train station actually packed to the brim. But it's not cool to see all of these toothpick trees in this dead landscape. In fact, the hostel I'm staying at, one of the current managers was moved to that hostel because the hostel that he used to work at, which was the Mount Edith Cavell hostel, which would be like somewhere in that direction, it didn't actually burn. So 3 hostels in Jasper burnt. That one did not burn, but the road to that hostel is you cannot take it, right? Because like the trees are all over it and it's not safe. And haven't even seen if it's like gonna disintegrate when cars go up it. So yeah, insane stuff. But I've talked enough and my arm hurts rather. So I'm just gonna keep on going, and also I'll be like yesterday, I'll be cutting it close. Not cutting it close, but I think I'll be arriving right around 7:30. So I can't really be slacking around, because if I do slack, then I'll be arriving after the sunset, which I don't want to do. All right, it's maybe 10 minutes later, and here you can see I was here early this year and a lot of the signs were like this, essentially burnt, but most of the signs have been fixed. But here up in Mount Edith Cavell, that's not the case. It looks like at least this pipeline is fine, and you can see a massive river that's flowing down the mountain. And the road here to the right is what would normally go to Mount Edith Cavell, but you're risking your life if you go up there. Scott, who was the manager at Mount Edith Cavell Hostel, told me the biggest safeguard against fatalities on this road were all of the trees that would stop you from sliding down the hill. But as you can see, those trees are not going to help anymore. So there you have it. You can see yet another burnt sign, Jasper Lake Louise, on my left. And of course, the trail is closed. So here you can see the path is taking a nice little turn, and you can even see from the back of the sign that this sign is burnt, for example. So I'm going to stop now so that I don't descend dangerously. Okay, so I now just finished probably the sketchiest descent, which in dry weather would be completely fine, but because of the wet conditions, I had to be very careful to keep a straight line, and essentially there's no traffic. Like, that semi that just passed me is an exception. To give you an idea, I've probably been on this road for the last 20 minutes, and not a single car has came behind me. There's literally been like that semi truck and like 2 or 3 other cars that have passed me in the opposite direction. But as I was saying, what that meant is when I was descending, I could use the entire road essentially. So if I wasn't able to use the entire road, then I would have had to brake. But yeah, I'm proud to say that I did not brake at all on the last descent. That was kind of curvy and nice. And that's important, of course, for energy reasons. But if my safety was at peril, then I would of course have braked, even though maybe my safety was at peril. I have not immense experience with rain riding, so I'm really unfamiliar with the point where your wheels will start like sliding underneath you. But what I do know is that if you keep a straight line, then the bike will want to roll forward rather than slide sideways. And this is just due to rolling versus static friction. So as long as you're really straight, then you should be fine, to be honest, and that's what I've found out. But I have definitely fell before in the rain, not with this bike luckily, and I'm not jinxing it now, of course. But I also just wanted to record once again to give you guys a glimpse of the devastation in Jasper. On my left, you probably would have never seen through this forest, but now you can. Luckily though, like Mount Edith Cavell and Marmot Basin, which are up on the right here, the hostel there, and of course the ski resort were untouched. and I guess the fire was just unable to get that high of an altitude, which is, yeah, lucky for us. But everything at this level, as you can see, was completely destroyed. Alright guys, and just like that, it's done. I can't even hold my phone. Just like yesterday, look. This is the fastest I can move my arms. So as I was saying, my mom just called, so that's why I had to cut there. Literally the hands are frozen, of course. Like they're literally white. And yeah, somehow the bottom of my shirt dried because I guess I was just descending really fast. My shoes are completely soaked. Look at my legs. This is insane. And like I have 2 layers of shorts, just like yesterday, and both layers are soaked. And then let's see the bike. So actually I'm gonna switch to forward cam so you guys can see this. So here's my bike. First thing you'll see is a lot of grime because of the rain. Look at all that grime, and it really got into my freaking crankshaft. So I hope, well, I don't know. I think the crankshaft definitely took some toll on that. And then of course, like the seat was just murked. Everything's murked. I'm so cold, but I want to get this on tape before I go inside. Yeah, of course, like the disc brakes are lifesavers because they work incredibly well in the wet. And yeah, I'm in front of the Beauty Creek Hostel right now, and I was saying to myself, I thought I was gonna be like 7 kilometers away, like right before I turned the corner and saw that I was literally here. So as one thing I wanted to say is that I literally had to climb 600 meters higher to get here than going to Jasper, which is to say Jasper was 600 or 800 meters lower than this place. But somehow I returned faster even though it was uphill. And I literally thought there was 7 kilometers left. Right when I turned the corner, I saw Beauty Creek Hostel. So amazing stuff. I also saw elk in Jasper, which was really cool. So the one good thing about the trees having all burnt down, you can see there's a lot of car traffic passing here, is that now you can see animals much easier because there's no leaves to cover them and hide them in the wilderness. But of course, it's a net bad thing, I think. And otherwise, yeah, in the entire trip, I saw a bunch of elk in Jasper, and then just the one moose in Banff that I talked about earlier. And otherwise, oh yeah, just lots of garbage along the highway. It's like really upsetting, especially since we're in a national park. But what can you do? I can't really stop. I don't have the space to get them, and if I stopped at every single time I saw garbage, then I would still be in Banff. So just to give a bit of background in the next clip, I will no longer be cycling, and this is because in the hostel that I was at Beauty Creek Campground, I met 2 guys that were going back by car to my hometown of Edmonton on the next day. So they offered to take me, and I said yes, of course, because I was originally planning on going back down to Calgary from Banff and then climbing up to Edmonton by bike. But due to the weather, I just said, that's it. I've had my fun, or I've had my suffering rather, and I'm gonna go back with them by car, which is what I did, and I'm very happy about that. All right, good morning everybody. It's the next day, 11:53 on September 28th. And as I said, I'm getting driven back to Edmonton by Jarek and Andreas, who are the 2 guys that I met at the hostel like yesterday, I guess. So yeah, it's really awesome to be in a dry vehicle. And now we're at Maligne Lake. So look at this amazing view behind me. And we just took a trail called the Mary Schaefer Loop, and it's called the Mary Schaefer Loop because Mary Schaefer was like the European who discovered this lake. And it's quite incredible that like this lake is really kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's 40 kilometers from the highway, and it took them like many years to find the lake, and many different like attempts to get up to these mountains to see it from above to actually map it out. And of course now we're lucky that there's a paved road that gets us here, and you can see this really cool
Moline Lake Boathouse there behind me. And they have like these boat tours that happen every like 30 minutes, I think. And it's quite impressive. It's $120 for boat tour. So we just did a tour on the lake and walked around it instead, but that is also an option. And lastly, it was raining this morning, but now you can see some really nice sun. So I think this is our last stop. We'll be here for another 30 minutes and then driving back to Edmonton in the dry car. All right, guys. So I'm here with Jared and Andreas.
Hi.
And we're currently in Hinton. And where are we right now, Andreas?
Hello. My first time at Boston Pizza.
Exactly. So you can see we got our food ready, and we're about to dig in. And then
Pizza, Maple Leaf Burger.
Maple. And then I got the pasta here. So yeah, there you go. See you guys later.